My name is David Soolkin, and I spent the first semester of my college career overseas in Thessaloniki, Greece, studying at the American College of Thessaloniki. Being a traveler was something that was passed down to me from my parents, as I traveled to 10 countries by the time I was 18. I always knew that I wanted to study abroad. When my sister studied abroad when I was 13 years old, I was extremely jealous. I knew I wanted to live outside of America, and there's no better time than during college. Never in a million years did I think I would study in Greece, but now I cannot be happier that I was lucky enough to choose this beautiful country. At the beginning of this trip, we were challenged to fully enjoy every second of this trip, because once it's over, there's no going back. I knew how accurate this would be, so I decided to actually attempt to do this. To start this goal, I would try to be as optimistic as possible and complain as little as possible. On top of this, my motto for this trip was similar to that of Jim Carrey's movie Yes Man, where he attempts to say yes to all possibilities presented. It was this philosophy that led me to try and take as many excursions as possible and try to seize every opportunity. I think the excursions and personal trips my friends and I took were definitely the highlights of my semester abroad. I was fortunate enough to live on a boat for a weekend while exploring the Greek peninsulas. Being able to say that I climbed Mount Olympus and had a delicious bowl of pasta with Zeus is something that I'll never forget. All of the climb was difficult, strenuous, and tiring. Never did I think about giving up, as I was so determined to make it to the top that nothing was going to stop me. I was later able to go cliff diving and rock sliding in the freezing waters of Mount Olympus. I was also able to get the ineffable experience of being at the Meteor Monasteries, a place that I had never even imagined existed. I was able to swim and relax in the Poser Hot Springs, and lastly, visit the one-of-a-kind city, Athens. These were all organized by ACT and were a fantastic way to experience Greece. I also used my trip to Greece to explore abroad as a whole, as coming here gave me the opportunity to visit family in Moscow and Israel, two places that I had waited a long time to visit, and also explore the beautiful cities of Amsterdam and Berlin with my best friends. Both of these cities were absolutely mesmerizing, and I loved each of these experiences. Although it may not seem like it, I came here with the goal of studying. Since semesters here are shortened, classes at ACT had to be sped up, and this would lead to many late nights working. Fortunately, I had a close-knit group of friends who were in the same classes as me, and we were able to lean on one another for support. Although classes were difficult, I still liked most of my professors, as they were kind, helpful, and most importantly, genuine. This is something that stood out to me about this wonderful country. It seems that people here are generally more authentic and actually say what they believe. Something that I definitely cherish about this trip was the chance to give back to the community in service learning. Painting over graffiti on a sports complex and a school, and picking up trash may not have changed the world, but it made someone's day better, and I think that's what's important. There's an endless number of people that I would like to thank for making this such a wonderful trip for me, such as my loving family and friends at home, who put all their numerous concerns aside and supported me going on this trip. The path that led me here was not an easy one, but yet everything fell into place perfectly, as I cannot imagine my life without this trip. A special thanks to the family that visited me here. My sister spending a month here was an incredible blessing. Next, I'd like to thank all of the friends I made here in Greece, as these are the people that made this trip what it is. I would not trade them for anyone, as every person here played their role and made this trip ideal. We will all hold this bond forever. One specific person is my roommate, whom I pity as we had all our classes together and lived together, so he spent all of his time with me. This whole trip was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it was comprised of a multitude of unique experiences. I can wholeheartedly say that I cherished every second of it and will remember it for the rest of my life. To paraphrase an idol of mine, now it's on to Boston. Ευχαριστώ, Thessaloniki.
Send me in my way. Send me in my way. Send me in my